Welcome back to KTN Prime. Our discussion, as we promised you, we continue to focus on the stalemate between teachers and their employer, the Teachers Service Commission, and we're glad to be joined this evening by the chair of the TSC, that's the Teachers Service Commission, Dr. Lydia Nzomo. Thank you for making the time to be with us tonight. Let's start off by discussing your call to teachers to return to work today. And you asked them to return to work, failure to which they will be struck from the payroll. The teachers have gone on to ignore your order. What next?
It is true that we did advise teachers on Saturday to return to work, and we did so with a good reason. As one of them is that the strike they are participating in is unprotected. And when one participates in a strike that is unprotected, there are consequences. One of them is that they will not be paid because the strike is not protected. And in any case, people can't be paid when they are not working.
All right, so you've asked them to get back to work, failure to which to do that today, you will strike them off the payroll. Are you going to do that tomorrow? Because they didn't heed your call to get back to class.
Yes, thank you. There is a process to be followed in that, but I think we should also explain how sad the current situation is. It's a sad situation because the children should be in school. They should be under the care of their teachers. These are children in public schools. That's where the children of Wanjiko go, in public schools, and it is very, very unfortunate that these children are not being taught. So what would happen is that we mentioned and we explained to the teachers that they should go back and teach, and there is a process to be followed if they don't actually adhere to what we have told them. So it's not so much a threat, it's just to remind them the facts of the law, to say that the law expects them to be working, and if they don't, then choices have consequences.
All right. It's interesting that you mentioned the law, because the teachers, on the other hand, claim you are in breach of the law because the court asked you to pay the teachers a 50 to 60% pay rise. That was done by the Labour Court and again upheld by the Court of Appeal. Are you in breach of the Constitution, and why aren't you heeding the court order to pay the teachers what the court awarded them?
The Teachers Service Commission is a law-abiding institution and followed the processes and the procedures the way they should be followed. It is true the lower court did award teachers 50 to 60% pay rise, but by the time we got that order, we had already received our budgetary allocation, which had followed the normal process of allocating funds. And we were allocated 174 billion Kenya shillings to pay the current teachers that we have and at the current rate. Therefore, when that award came after the budget had been finalized, honestly, we had no money to pay, and you can't pay what you don't have. And this is why we appealed against that decision, to explain that the Teachers Service Commission only pays the money that is allocated to it.
Okay, all right. That being said, though, some say that you are usurping your own authority by saying you do not have the money. Have you made requests to the Treasury, to the National Assembly, the Finance Committee, to say, look, here is a court order, we've been asked to make these payments, and then have it that it's Parliament and the Finance Committee that can then reallocate funds? So some are saying the money that you pay the teachers isn't TSC's money, it's the government's money. But have you made this request to the government and been denied the funds?
Let me clarify that the Teachers Service Commission requests for funds from the National Treasury, direct, not to Parliament.
Have you made that request to the Treasury?
That one we did. We wrote to the National Treasury, reminding them what the Court of Appeal was handling, and the National Treasury has written and said the money is not there. So the Teachers Service Commission is not in breach of any court order, because you can only pay what you allocated.
All right, only paying, excuse me, what you are allocated.
Yes.
But you were the ones who went to court in the first place with this issue, seeking the court's direction. Did you not make a budget for this case going either way, or were you so confident that you would win and that the courts would not award the teachers their pay rise?
We never went to court about the pay. If I may just get facts right, the teachers went on strike in January this year.
Yes.
And when that strike commenced, the teachers had not followed the procedure that is followed according to the Labor Relations Act in participating in a strike. So what the Teachers Service Commission did was to go to the industrial court, asking the court to declare that strike illegal. It wasn't about the award to the teachers.
But you then subjected yourself to the process of the court in terms of arbitrating over the matter between yourselves and the National Union of Teachers.
Yes, that's
right.
That is true.
So did you not anticipate it going either way? And therefore starting to make some provisions for the event that it goes one way or the other?
Because you see what happened, and let's get it right, that the Teachers Service Commission didn't go to court about the arbitration on pay rise. We went to say that the strike was not illegal. And you see, it is the court actually, the judge, who now converted himself to be a conciliator, and that was not the way to go about it. And that's one of the reasons why we are in the Court of Appeal, that the Court of Appeal had not listened and followed the request that the Teachers Service Commission had taken to court.
Okay. I am informed that Wilson Sosion is watching the show and has called in and would like to comment. All right. Do we have Wilson Sosion?
Yes.
Thank you very much for watching and for calling into the show today. We're speaking to Dr. Lydia Nzomo. What's your question or comment to her?
Yeah, thank you. I hear the chair of Teachers Service Commission very well, but I think she ought to be in a fair position to tell the bare truth. Number one, she's the holder of a constitutional office where she swore to be the chair and uphold the duties and independence of the commission. But I would like her to tell us one fact. In the month of December last year, the salaries for the Secretariat staff of Teachers Service Commission were adjusted. And the clerk in job group G, who was at the same level with the teacher P1, has the salaries of 35,000 basic, compared to a P1 teacher who is more qualified than a clerk who earned 16,000. And if you look at the highest job group of teachers, job group R, the principal is left at slightly 102,000, compared to a staff in the equivalent grade at 154,000. This disparity is abnormal, and these adjustments were done without job evaluation. These adjustments were done without the consideration of the budget. Aside from the process that you have gone through, does she think that there is justice and fairness here when you have lesser staff with lesser qualifications earning twice than the teachers who are doing the actual teaching job?
Okay, all right.
Number two, we've gone through the process of court arbitration. Why is the TSC refusing to obey the court order?
Okay, all right. I would thank you very much, Wilson Sosion. Let's talk about that. In the Secretariat, there's people within the same job group who are earning almost twice what a teacher is earning. For example, I think he said job group G, 16,000, while the same person in the TSC earns 35,000 without evaluation.
Yeah, but Yvonne, let's not confuse issues, because members of the Secretariat are not on the same terms as the teaching service. Even when you look at the Public Service Commission, you'll find that the Public Service Commission Secretariat has a package for the commission itself, and the one for the civil servants. So what you find is that the constitutional commissions actually have a different package, and we can't say that the teachers are also part of the secretariat.
Okay, let's talk about the court order, because that continues to remain, even with the appeal court saying that whilst they're listening to your appeal, that you should pay this amount of money, that some say perhaps you could even offer to do it in phases rather than threatening the teachers to go back to class.
Yeah, but we need to get it right. You can only pay what you don't have. I've already mentioned and explained that the Teachers Service Commission wrote to Treasury, and it is Treasury that allocates money. Treasury has written back, and Treasury has said that they cannot be able to give us that money at this time. So we have gone to court also to say that we are not in breach of the court order. It's only that we don't have the money. I think the minute we get that one correct, then the issue of breach of the court order will not arise.
Doctor, before I let you go, do you think teachers are earning fair pay? Do you think that the money they're receiving now is fair and justifiable for the work that they do?
I think we might not be able to judge that one as fair or unfair. What we are saying is that teachers currently are being paid at the same level. Their salaries were actually harmonized with those ones of the civil service in 2012, and they get the same pay, they get the same allowances, and at times they get some allowances that the civil service doesn't get. So I think we need to look at it and say, at the moment, what are the teachers earning? Is it much lower than what the rest of the civil service are earning? And the answer is no.
So they're being paid.
It is harmonized.
Harmonized, okay.
If with the allowances.
All right. Before I let you go, 288,000 teachers. They have not heeded your call today, and they will continue according to what they're saying. So what next? Are you going to strike 288,000 teachers from the payroll?
We have not reached there yet.
You did say that on Saturday.
We haven't
failure to do it today, that you would strike them off the payroll. So are you going to do it?
We didn't say we would do it on Monday or Tuesday, but we said that let the teachers realize that they are participating in a strike that is not protected, and therefore they need to go back, because if they don't, then the commission is going to take disciplinary action.
And when will you take this disciplinary action?
It is a process, it's a procedure. We have given them time, you know. We don't normally just strike them off the payroll immediately, but we have given them time.
How much time
and they are digesting that.
How much time are you giving them?
A
week? 2 weeks? A month?
Let's not have a specific time, because the teachers know that they are governed by the Code of Regulation for Teachers, and it is clear to them that if they are not on duty for a particular period of time, then action is taken against them.
All right. Action will be taken against the 288,000 teachers who have refused to heed the call by the Teachers Service Commission to return to work. She says it's a process, giving them time. How much time, we don't know, because there's exams that are coming up. So hopefully we shall reach some sort of agreement soon. But you're refusing to be committal on that tonight.
No, we are committed. You know, we are appealing to teachers. In fact, we value teachers a lot. We have done a lot for teachers. The government cares for them, and we are giving them time. And we are reminding them that their employer is Teachers Service Commission. The commission is an independent commission, the way the Secretary General has mentioned, and therefore the employees of the Teachers Service Commission are not going to be confused that the employer is the one to give them directions. But before even I leave, I wish to really appeal to the teachers. You know, teachers are role models to the learners, even in society. They are valued because they are the ones who guide wherever they are. So we are telling them to carry themselves in a way to continue showing that image of a teacher. And the image of a teacher is one that also gives people their space, so that if there is a teacher who does not want to teach, then they should not interrupt any other who wants to go to teach.
Just very quickly, in a few statements, if you do not if you lose on Thursday in that court decision, what next? If you lose again on Thursday?
We want to discuss that when we get there, because you know, when you appeal, you don't appeal to lose. So
All right.
yeah, you appeal to win.
Okay, but so far you haven't been very successful at the courts. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
TSC Chair
Yeah.
Dr. Lydia Nzomo, on the stalemate between teachers and their employer. We'll continue to take your feedback on who between the TSC, the government, and the teachers' unions is to blame for the stalemate going on in the education sector at this moment. Stay with us. We're taking a short break. Back with the business.